¿Qué pasa YouTube? 6fthax here. Have for you guys today another Wi-Fi battle, and this is going to be against Hybuyn, a pretty active stream participant person when I do stream. Now, if you guys see some repetitive names in battles, that's just because these are people who come out to the stream who are active while I'm streaming, but you can definitely bet that they know what they're doing, so it should be a pretty good battle either way. Now, of course, if you guys do enjoy this video, make sure to hammer the like button down below to answer the common question of the day. If you do both, you are definitely an MVP, and I greatly do appreciate you guys' support. So, as you can see from the team preview, this is a definite OU battle, and this was a pretty cool team that I got from the Smogon forums that I really wanted to try out, that was based around Baton Pass Scolipede. Now, if you notice that Hybuyn's team is filled with nothing but threats. Literally, like, the least scariest thing I want to say was Clefable, which is still saying something because Clefable itself can be a huge issue. So he leads off with Landorus as I lead off with Excadrill, and I thought that we were just going to exchange Stealth Rocks turn 1, but no, this man goes straight for a Rock Polish. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I got extremely terrified right here because he's at +2 speed and he just went for the Swords Dance, and my only way of touching this Landorus is to Toxic it. And my other offensive moves are Earthquake and Rapid Spin because this is in my team. So I was really scared that if I left in my Excadrill here that maybe he would try to keep setting up on me, but because I did go for the Toxic, the thought of him maybe going for the Earthquake here crossed my mind, as I do predict that I switch into my Air Balloon circuitries. And while all this is going to be going on, notice that the Toxic damage is constantly racking up and wearing down this Landorus. So here I switch out into my Magearna, expecting him to go for either the Stone Edge or go for the Continental Crush. More the Continental Crush, just because if he did miss Stone Edge, that would be really bad for him. And by switching in my Magearna, even though this Magearna doesn't have any HP investment, it should still be able to live a non-stab resisted Continental Crush, as that still did a clean 85% to my Magearna, most likely coming from an adamant Landorus because my Jolly Excadrill outsped his Landorus, which normally Jolly Landorus is faster than Excadrill. So here I'm just going to leave in my Magearna as death fodder, which really sucks because Magearna definitely could have helped me out later in this match, as I will be able to bring in my Scolipede here. I can stall out another turn and rack up the toxic damage on this Landorus. Unfortunately though, he is going to just barely end up living this next turn of Toxic, and because I didn't want to risk him potentially still being faster than me, even though I'm at +1 speed and he is most likely adamant not running max speed, I am still going to switch out into my Excadrill here, mainly as death fodder, but I do have the Focus Sash, and the good thing about this is that now I will be able to get switch initiative on what he decides to bring in. Although, yes, this does allow him to bring in potential Battle Bond Greninja or Pheromosa. It's really not that big of an issue for me because I can definitely still bring him something to force him out. As he ends up bringing in the Pheromosa here, I'm just going to fodder off my Excadrill, and I was so happy that I did not end up getting swept by that Landorus because I did not expect it at all to be Double Dance. I just thought it would be the regular defensive set, and that match could have gone downhill really fast. Luckily though, this Excadrill did have Toxic on it, and I was able to pivot around it. As I can bring in my Scolipede here, the Protect is pretty obvious, so I'm actually going to end up making the aggressive play here and going for the Poison Jab. Also because he got the special attack boost, that tells me that he most likely is modest as opposed to timid specs. So he ends up switching into his Tapu Koko here, which I'm able to just put down with the Poison Jab, as he then gets a free switch into his Metagross. And this Metagross is actually a really big issue for my Scolipede because the Scolipede does not have a single move to touch this Metagross with, because its only offensive move is Poison Jab, and of course Steel types are not affected by Poison type moves. So I'm going to substitute in the hopes that maybe he would try and go for the Meteor Mash and not have Thunder Punch or Ice Punch to break my substitute, as unfortunately he does have the Thunder Punch. This honestly is still not bad for me at all, because what I can do here is try to Baton Pass +2 or +3 speed to one of my offensive sweepers, whether it be Manaphy or Circuitries, both of which can easily switch in to Metagross. Obviously the better option is probably my Circuitries, just because he does keep going for the Thunder Punch, and I make a bit of a misplay here in going for this extra protect. Honestly, I don't think I needed this protect. I could have probably just baton passed directly out this turn instead of trying to waste another turn of electric terrain, because what I should have been doing was trying to baton pass at least +2 speed to my circuitries. This way I could be in electric terrain for 1 or 2 turns and then get off a humongous hit with modest magnet circuitries in electric terrain, but I foolishly did an extra protect and now the electric terrain is gone, so I'm not going to be hitting as hard as I would have been. Either way though, it's fine because all I really need to do is get off damage on this Metagross to be able to take it down a little bit easier for the rest of my team. And if I was in electric terrain, that Thunderbolt 100% would have knocked out Metagross, but unfortunately it disappeared and it is going to be able to live, but it's okay because with him being on -1 speed, this now gives me a switch into my Manaphy, which is going to be able to safely go straight for the Surf. I didn't want to go for the Tail Glow just in the off chance that he did want to try and stay in and Thunder Punch me, predicting me to set up, predicting his switch out as he switches into Clefable. This Clefable honestly is not a problem at all because there's nothing that he can do to me to beat me 1v1. As I go for the Tail Glow, he misses the Thunder Wave, and that actually really sucks for him because now not only will I be able to knock out this Clefable, but I should still live a hit from the Pheromosa and the Greninja and this Metagross, so I can pick up another KO here as I will be able to take a Thunder Punch and in return knock him out, but he gets the crit, which honestly I am not upset about this at all. That crit was 100% justified because even though I still would have been able to beat Clefable 1v1 with Manaphy, Manaphy would have been paralyzed and weakened by Moonblast, most likely putting me in range of where Metagross still could have revenge killed me. So I wasn't upset about that crit at all, as I can then bring in my Scolipede here. My best bet at this point is to try and baton pass +2 speed to my own Metagross. The only downside to that is that if I baton pass and he Thunder Punches and paralyzes my Metagross, then I most likely lose this battle, because if I can't knock out his Metagross with my Metagross, then his Metagross beats my Scolipede 1v1 100% of the time, because again my only offensive move is Poison Jab. Plus, Poison Jab is only a roll to knock out Greninja after Stealth Rock. So I'm going to baton pass here in hopes that he does not get the paralysis with the Thunder Punch, as he does go for it. Luckily, my Metagross is correctly nicknamed this time and well trained, and I don't get paralyzed, and I will be able to Mega Evolve here pretty safely and outspeed his Metagross and knock it out with the Earthquake. And at this point, it looks like I'm pretty set to win this match with +2 speed Metagross, because I can now outspeed Greninja and I can also outspeed Pheromosa unless it's Scarfed, which I'm pretty sure he's not Scarfed and he most likely is Spexed. So in comes the Greninja. This Metagross does luckily have the Thunder Punch, which after Stealth Rocks will 100% knock out this Greninja, and I think that nickname is an Attack on Titan reference if I'm not mistaken, so correct me if I'm wrong on that. But either way, I'm able to knock him out. In comes the Pheromosa, and after 2 Stealth Rock switch-ins, Thunder Punch is 100% a KO on this Pheromosa as well, and I'm going to be able to knock him out and pull out the victory there. Not gonna lie to you guys, I was so scared of that Landorus, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned this earlier, but just I thought I was honestly gonna get 6-0 by that Landorus. Luckily, Scolipede is an absolute don and was able to pressure him and baton pass those speed boosts to just really give me an advantage in this match. So good game to Hybuyn. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the quick upload for today. Make sure to hammer that like button down below and to answer the question of the day, guys. With that being said, there is an outro this time. On the video because I forgot that yesterday. But definitely check out the previous 2 battles if you haven't watched them already. And with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.
Cause my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears, and hoping. For real.